Coaches called Sir Topham Hatt. It's time for your first trip to the mountains. Percy and James were glad they did not have to go to the mountains. They were afraid to cross the big bridge. There's nothing to be afraid of, Thomas insisted, in a voice loud enough for Percy and James to hear. It will be easy to cross the big bridge. Thomas and Henry chugged to the platform. Gordon, the express engine, was already there. His coaches were full of passengers.
But even Gordon gotta go to another one.
Yeah. Annie and Clarabelle were soon hitched behind Thomas. Hurry, hurry, they called. All aboard, cried the conductor. Sir Topham Hatt turned to the crowd and waved his hat. One last time. Toot, toot. Gordon whistled. Follow me. In a burst of steam, the big blue engine was off. Soon the trains were rolling through the countryside in a long line. Gordon took the lead. Behind him chugged Henry. And behind Henry, because he was the smallest, Thomas. All along the way, people came out of their houses.
Thomas on
here
Thomas
and here,
in the big bridge.
Okay. All along the way, people came out of their houses and cheered when they saw the trains go by.
And what happened now?
At the foot of the mountains, Henry slowed to a crawl. These mountains are much too high, he moaned. I can't go, I'm afraid of heights. Don't be silly, said Thomas bravely. I'll be right there behind you. But Henry didn't budge. He was very nervous, and that made Thomas nervous too.
Bob's here for the button?
Yeah. Come on, Thomas gently pushed Harry. We have to go. The brand new tracks were smooth and shiny, but Henry barely moved along them. The truth was Henry didn't want to reach the top of the mountain, because then he'd have to cross the big bridge. If Percy and James and Henry were all afraid, thought Thomas, maybe I should be frightened too. Wow. The tracks grew steep.
What's he doing?
We arrived there very soon. Let me finish this page. The tracks grew steep as Thomas and Henry puffed up the mountain. They could hardly keep up with Gordon. The big blue engine rushed ahead. Gordon was a strong engine. The steep tracks didn't tire him at all. Wait for us, Henry called, but Gordon climbed higher and higher until he was out of sight. I don't think I can make it, Henry groaned, his steam giving out at last. This mountain is too steep. Keep going, Thomas urged him. We can't let a little mountain stop us. But Thomas was having trouble chugging up the steep mountain too, and he was beginning to worry about it.
Stop, I was not here about it.
He was beginning to worry about crossing the big bridge. Finally, Thomas and Henry arrived at the big
bridge.
And it was high. It was windy up there too. Very, very windy. I won't go, Henry declared. But we have to cross, Thomas said bravely. Our passengers want to see the mountains on the other side. Hurry, hurry, Annie and Clarabelle cried. The coaches were so excited that Thomas had trouble keeping them in line. Thomas searched the tracks ahead. Gordon was nowhere to be seen.
Bob, is that a new bridge?
It's brand new, and it's the first time the train's going for the mountains across the bridge.
And why is it so new?
It's brand new.
Because it was the first time people built it?
Yes.
That's why it's so shiny.
Exactly. I'll go first, Thomas said at last. Then you can follow me, Henry. If the wind blows, close your eyes, Henry said. That way you won't see anything scary. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. Thomas began to cross the bridge. Thomas looked up. He could see cottony clouds touching the top of the bridge. Nervously, he looked down. But the bridge was so high, he couldn't see the ground. A sudden gust of wind shook the bridge. This scared Thomas, and he closed his eyes so tightly but he couldn't see where he was going. Click, clack, click, clack, click, crash.
Crash.
Thomas came to a sudden stop. He opened one eye for a quick peek. Oh no, he cried. His wings were off.